Yeah, happy to be here. And Laura, Corinna, welcome on stage. Here at the Digital Finance Conference from Bitkom. We are talking about how the digitization generates new challenges in HR and talent management in the financial sector. And it's something what me as an entrepreneur affects always. But maybe give us a short introduction of yourself. Maybe you can start, Corinna.
Okay, hi, my name is Corinna Vogt. I'm heading talent learning and recruiting at ING in Germany, meaning I'm responsible for employer branding, getting the people on board, developing them, motivating them to stay and develop in our organization.
Okay, Laura?
My name is Laura. I'm working for Allianz X. Some of you might have heard our CEO talking yesterday. It's a strategic investment entity of Allianz. And I'm responsible for all HR-related topics, meaning from day one, or actually day zero, from applying to offboarding, which doesn't happen too often, the full spectrum.
Yeah, but offboarding is sometimes important as well, so to know why the people maybe want to leave. With Allianz and Allianz X and ING, you are both representing more or less a little bit the incumbent part of the industry. So to be fair. How did the fintech wave over the last 5 years and the digitization in some affect the way you are thinking about human resources?
Well, I think digitalization is not possible without the right people. Mm-hmm. And this is a key success factor. No, I think it doesn't matter what business you are working in. If you don't have the right people, you are not successful. Yeah. And resources now are rare because we compete with many other companies. All companies are faced with digitalization, and there are too few talents on the market to cover all the needs we have as a company. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I can't agree more, but we only heard it in the first speech today. It was only 12 years that the iPhone was invented, and I think, I don't know, 2 or 3 speakers later, they said our iPhone is like our personality, we don't want to give it away, and I think this is something that also affects HR really massively because people are used to be serviced like 24 hours, and this is what they now, of course, also expect from HR. And so we definitely have to upskill, and we definitely have to provide the service to the people that we're, as an employer, attractive to them.
Are you seeking for other profiles than 2 or 5 years ago?
Well, we as Allianz X, we only exist for maybe 2 years. But as Allianz Group, of course, I mean, I can only speak for my colleagues. They do, and they are desperately looking for talents. But I mean, this is why Allianz X kind of also exists, because with us, they bring in different talents. We're partnering with startups, so we're also getting the views of the startups into our company. They are partnering with our with the startups and the OEs. So sometimes the startups are just challenging the way that Allianz acts, and this is really very valuable. So definitely.
Corinna, ING is more than 2 years old. So is there a result on your side?
From my point of view, the profiles we are looking for have changed dramatically. Mm-hmm. Because today we are looking for people who have, on the one hand, a so-called agile mindset, and secondly, have a good skill in digital tech IT skill. Mm-hmm. And also in functions like product management, portfolio management, whatever. Years ago, 3 years, 4 years ago, we received lots of applications from people from other banks who said, hell, I would like to move to ING. And yes, these applications we do still receive, but we look for people who have, in addition, a technical skill, a digital skill. And these people are rare, and this is why it is so difficult.
Okay.
Yeah.
And are you looking especially at fintechs or in tech companies for new talents?
Both. It depends on what we are looking for. Of course, we also look into in such small startups. I think there it also depends not only on the skill, but also on the on the motivation, on what is someone looking for. Yeah, someone prepared to work in a bigger company, with more collaboration, more alignment, but also more security, or still seeking for the atmosphere of a fresh startup. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And have you lost talents over the last year to other companies, so maybe to other tech companies or to other fintechs?
Of course, this is a big challenge because there's a big competition on the job market, and people receive more and more offerings from other companies, and this is a big risk factor for us. Yeah.
The same at Allianz or Allianz X?
I mean, definitely. It's now easy to approach all the employees via LinkedIn or whatever they see there. Also with Allianz X, I mean, we're so young, but still people get headhunted. And so, of course, we are also losing talents. But yeah, I mean, this is why we're all running big initiatives to try to keep them, right?
What are the initiatives? What are the new answers to the war of talents?
Well, that depends. I mean, if you, if I have a look at the big Allianz, it's they created their own university now where people can like get on-demand trainings for whatever they need. Also online tools like LinkedIn Learning. So, and we also have initiatives like upskilling when it comes to agile project management, or when it comes to, like, we have an initiative that is called Widen Your Horizon, which means that if you're working for Allianz for quite a while and you're not sure if you really want to move to another entity, you would switch to another position, then you can just kind of get a glimpse of what it's like to work in another entity by just swapping your job or shadowing someone for a few months. This is really highly supported by our management, by our board. And so I think this is really attractive for people, so they might not just take the big step and move out of Allianz or move to the next entity, but just have a look. And this is quite attractive for our people to just try and see whether if it's a good idea or not.
And on the ING side, are there programs or initiatives which you are providing?
Yes, we say the situation is as it is, so a very, very competitive job market, so we need to be creative. And one initiative we have recently started is an initiative we call Smart Movers. Mm-hmm. So we look into the internal job market, and if you are working in a bigger company, you normally have colleagues who are very familiar with IT, who you contact if you have difficulties with Excel, with databases, whatever. It's not their role, their official role, but they have a certain talent there. And we look for these internal IT tech talents, and we motivate them to apply for IT tech jobs. And we give them a specific education for over a period of 12 months, off the job and on the job training, to qualify them for example, becoming a Java developer, a business analyst, whatever. And the surprise for us was really that we have much more people than we expected. People who studied mathematics, informatics, whatever in their previous life, who invest in their private life in learning Java, whatever. And for them, getting such a position as a smart mover, it's like a dream of life comes true. Yeah.
I think yesterday there was a little discussion on the panel, on the last panel yesterday, and it was about a little bit like smart moving in companies, because I think Nazim said, okay, it's not only about the talent, it's about the right context of the talent. What does he mean with the right context? A little bit like that, what Corinna said?
Yes, but also, I mean, we as a completely new entity, we have the possibility to just, I mean, we're recruiting people for a certain position, but if we find out within a few months that this person might be more useful on another position, or maybe if this person also wants to do another job, then we as a small entity can be agile and can talk to the people and can give them the opportunity to just put them into the right context. And maybe if they are more valuable for us, but also if they enjoy more being in another position, then, I mean, that's amazing that we can do that. But of course, the big Allianz can do that easily. I'm fully aware of that, but this is what he meant. I mean, this is what it should be about, that we are putting the people there where for them it's valuable, but also for Allianz it's valuable.
I think that was a little bit, that was an idea yesterday I heard from him that was quite smart, yeah, to think about the right context of the people, and talents are only good talents in the right context. If we are thinking about the war of talents a little bit more, and if you are based in Frankfurt, you are based in Munich, is it a good starting point to hire people? Is Frankfurt and Munich, is it attractive enough to get the right people in the company?
Yes and no. Yes, because the Rhine-Main area is very attractive. There are several universities, big companies. So all in all, enough people living there. I think the flip side is it's a very competitive job market. All the big banks are located in Frankfurt, and cost of living is also very high. And this is what we also see more and more people take into consideration whether accepting a job offer from Frankfurt or not.
And do you have other locations where people can work from, or maybe remote or whatever?
Yeah, we have two further locations in Germany, in Nuremberg, in Hanover, and also a small office in Berlin. But of course, we also offer remote opportunities to work. This is not applicable for all functions because of data security, for example. But yeah, this is also one option, because then we can also recruit people living 100 kilometers from Frankfurt because they can work remotely. Yeah.
And how is it at Allianz?
I mean,
Munich. How is Munich?
I mean, Munich is a perfect city to live in. I mean, it's also super expensive, and we have also all the big companies over there. We just heard Munich Re; they are just like around the corner. But I mean, for us as a corporate venture capital entity, it's perfect because there are not so many competitors in the city, and people might think we have to go to Berlin, but actually we don't have to go to Berlin because this is how we attract our talent. Because if someone just doesn't want to go to Berlin, then they can come to us, and that's actually working quite well. And since we're operating on a global level, it's really attractive to give our employees the chance to be in Munich and to have their family there and their friends and whatever, but traveling the world, it's actually quite convenient, I would say.
Corinna, is it possible at ING, and ING is a global company or a European company or a global company, is it possible maybe to work in Amsterdam or in other locations as well? So is it easy to switch from a German job to a job in Netherlands or whatever?
Definitely.
Yeah.
From short-term assignments, long-term assignments, complete movement, but also we also have international project teams developing apps together cross-border. So there are many options to work internationally.
Okay.
Yeah.
So maybe a little bit coming more or less to the end. I have 2 daughters at home, and we're discussing a lot about the future and the potential jobs. So they are 12 and 10 years old. So they are in the school now, but we're talking about that. If I ask you, what is your advice? What should they maybe study? What is the typical job, or what is the best job if somebody wants to go to the university right now? What do you maybe advise?
My advice has always been do what you like to do and what your talent is, and then you will find your way. And good job opportunities, of course, are in the tech area. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I can only agree, but I think it's really important just for the young talents that they really find out what they want and maybe give it like what they offer now, like a gap year, but you can also do that before you started studying, that you just go to the industries, see what they are doing, find out what are startups doing, what is Allianz doing, and really find out what you really want and what you enjoy doing, because you have to do it the rest of your life probably, and so you should really do something that you enjoy doing, and so.
So when I finished school, so the absolutely preferred job from nearly everyone was to be a banker. That's I think that's not anymore.
This has really changed.
Absolutely. So I'm old. So I think we are at the end. I think we have room for some questions. If somebody wants to have, if somebody has questions.
3 minutes in total. But that is room.
We were on the point.
3 minutes. Do I see a hand up in the air? Are you all starving to death? There's a hand up in the air at the very end, and the microphone is almost there. You may stand up already to make it easier for us to find you. Yep, okay, microphone? No, microphone? Do you have a loud voice? Can you just step forward and try and speak to us?
What are you doing to get in contact with young talents? Are you going to fairs? Are you searching online? So what is your ongoing?
Yeah. I mean, we are going to fairs. I'm lucky since I'm the only person. I can work with people attraction from Allianz. And they are going to fairs. They are supporting the whole universities. They have actually a quite solid program how to get the young talents in. I personally, from Allianz X, I'm sharing my contact details on the website. So whenever someone wants to approach me or someone wants to know more, then they can do it, which is a lot for me to do because Allianz X is super attractive, to be honest. But I'm happy to do that because this is how we get the talent in, and so I think that's a really valuable time.
We do nearly the same. What we do also is we keep in touch with students, working students, with interns, etc., who come to us. And we also ask all managers of interns as a kind of assessment, is it a talent? Should we stay in touch with the person or not? And we also encourage managers to do it themselves and not only rely on the HR department.
Is that something like an alumni network from
It's a very hands-on alumni network, but it works. And we also invite them for events, etc. Because, for example, in Hanover, we have a big contact center, and many students are working there. And from my point of view, it's important also to keep them in scope because they study maybe engineering or mathematics or whatever. So yes, they work in contact center, but they maybe have a interesting university degree for our wholesale banking function or whatever. And therefore, it's important to look really at each and every one.
Then I think this was a fantastic panel, but I used the past tense. Because I could see people already sneaking out. I think food is calling. Thank you so much, André Bajorat and his panelists. Thank you.
Dankeschön.